Welcome to The Dentist Show. Let's jump right in.
We're back. So how does like stand-up comedian or that show different from like TikTok? Which one do you enjoy more? Or is there any stress or just all fun?
Oh, stand-up comedy is the best thing, man. So how that happened was through my social media, I would do these like musical parodies of songs, and then Henry Schein asked me to perform at Thrive Live in 2023. That was really exciting. It's like 2,000 people. It's like their answer to like DS World. It's like a big thing.
Yeah.
I was opening for Sebastian Maniscalco, who was their headliner. And I was like, that's crazy, dude. And then like, I kid you not, like seconds before I was going on stage, I have never performed in front of this many people before. And I've been in a band for a very long time, but not like a front man, but like, dude, I thought I was going to poop and throw up and pee at the same time.
If you did all that, we probably would have assumed you dead.
Yeah. I've never thought myself like, I don't get nervous. I don't get embarrassed really. I don't like, doesn't really happen to me, but then it did. And I was like, whoa. So after that performance, which I think went really well, I got a lot of other dental conferences asking me to come perform at their dental conference. So I think since then and Thrive Live had me back the following year. And I think I've probably gone to like a dozen dental conferences, and I used that as a way to fund Halo.
Yeah.
So I would say, this is how much it costs. You can either make a donation to Halo in that same amount, or you can pay me and understand 100% of what you pay me is going to go to the Halo Dental Network. So I was like, this is kind of a cool way to like fund the Halo Dental Network. So I used that as a way to do that. But because I got so nervous, I was friends with so many comedians that would do like local shows here. I would say, hey, can I like get like 10 minutes, like a 10 minutes, like give me some stage time.
Yeah.
So I would do stand up for like 5 minutes, 8 minutes, 10-minute sets. And I did it as a way to like break myself of the nerves for these dental shows. I just ended up loving it, man. I just love it. It's just like, it's all about like immediate gratification.
Yeah.
It's just like, I tell a joke and I know if it's working.
Right.
Right? If you're doing a clinical session on like gum grafting or something like that, you don't have any idea if what you're saying is like being delivered, right? But I do. When I say a stand-up comedian, I'm like, I know exactly. I know exactly if what I'm doing is delivering. And that comes with the flip side of that is that I also know if I'm doing a bad job.
Right.
Yeah. So that became really cool. I fell in love with it, doing it more and more. And I've never really thought, I've thought about it for a long time, like, how can I monetize my platform? And all the ways that you normally would monetize it, I wasn't really interested in. I'm not interested in brand deals. I don't want to like turn my station or turn my account, my Instagram channel into like, Colgate and Figs and marketing tools just to get paid like $5,000 to do a 2-minute video on whatever toothpaste they're throwing at me, right? But I was like, if I can deliver something that has value, and then I was like, comedy.
Yeah.
So I started doing it, and I felt great about it, and I felt like I feel like I'm pretty good at this, and I enjoy it, and this is actually what I want to do. And so I do bigger and bigger shows, and just it's now. I mean, I think you saw me in Spokane.
Yeah, I was gonna say I had the opportunity of seeing you in Spokane, and all truth be told, I had no idea who you were.
I'm the one that told him like, hey,
we
actually,
if you go back a few podcasts, we started talking about this guy. His name's Bradley or Brady.
I'm terrible
or
names.
something.
Randy,
And he's like, he's got like a super basic like white dude name, and it's like Brady Smith. Like, and so I think we had one podcast where we try to say your name wrong the whole time. We never get it right. And then like the next podcast is like, I remember it's Brady Smith.
It came out of nowhere.
So then I searched you up after we got the right name.
Okay.
And then a couple weeks later, it was Chase sends me a message like, hey, you should go get tickets. He's gonna be in Spokane.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what are the odds? I had no idea you were here in like
Washington
Vancouver area
or
or that you're from Spokane. And so I like, sure, I'll go buy some tickets. And I bought 4 tickets. My wife and I went, and the other couple that were going to come with us couldn't make it.
Okay.
So then your sister comes up behind me, and she's like, hey, are these seats taken? Like, no, they're yours. But I didn't know she was your sister.
Okay. Yeah.
And
that was my sister's first time seeing my stand-up as well.
Oh, how did it go?
She's super conservative.
Yeah.
And so I don't think that I'm like a dirty comic, but I'm like, I told my mom and dad not to come.
Yeah.
I told them to stay home.
Yeah.
Because they're super conservative. So, but she enjoyed herself and her husband enjoyed herself. I mean, like,
They had a
yeah.
good time.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
funny. Well, go ahead.
I was gonna say the podcast while you got brought up is because we were talking about your hair,
Okay.
and I was like, hey, he like pinned it that he has fake hair. I was like, I gotta ask him if it's like hot and sweaty.
That's true. We did.
Then I'm all in because I want to have like long, luscious like girl hair, you know?
Oh, I can hook you up with my guy.
Yeah.
My guy can hook you up, dude.
Yeah, he's the
Yeah.
guy.
You
So-
can grow it on the sides, right? It
Yeah.
grows- yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
You should
So
do
I
it.
told my wife I'm coming home. It's gonna be like this big old, like surfer dude hair, greasy.
So the question is, do you sweat under it? Then?
It's actually very breathable.
Ah,
So I like
there you
my
go.
hairpiece.
You got the answer,
I got the
Chase?
answer,
Yeah.
man. Raquel. Sorry, I'm coming there.
You know, that's what everyone loves to talk about that, and I get it. It's really cool. But I mean, I get guys messaging me in my DMs that are like it feels like they're crying on the other end
Yeah.
because they're like, "Thank you so much. I am so self-conscious and insecure about my hair, and you made me feel like I can get a hairpiece and not have it be such a stigma surrounding it and like such a negative
Right.
thing."
Yeah.
And I'm like, when I was doing it, I was like, my staff, they encouraged me a lot because I was looking at Instagrams. I would show them like, dude, check this Instagram out. Look
Yeah.
how real this hairpiece looks. And I would like see things on the internet. And I was
Were
like,
you shaved head or just thin?
super thin,
Just super.
super
thin.
thin. I just looked, I couldn't find a hairstyle that worked. I was like, everything was stupid.
Yeah.
And I didn't think I would look good with a bald head. I didn't.
I don't
Nothing,
think anyone looks good with a bald
nothing
head.
made
Don't get
me-
wrong.
nothing
Chase,
made me-
case in point. I mean.
Right, right.
That's right. You don't want this.
I also felt like if I have a bald head, dude, I have to get jacked. I feel like the only way I can make that look beard, bald head, get jacked.
Yeah,
And-
Harley
Yeah, like
jacket.
Rogan. You gotta be like Rogan.
Yeah,
right?
exactly right. And that'd be good. I could do that. So anyway, they encouraged me, and my wife didn't really care one way or the other.
Yeah.
And then I did it, and I loved it. And I was like, I mean, I do veneers for a living, man. Like,
Right.
all I do is fake stuff.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's all smoke and mirrors. And I'm like, and that's like women's whole life is like
Makeup. And
hiding their
Yeah,
face from the
covering
world,
everything.
you know? So I'm like, I don't feel bad about it.
Yeah.
Doesn't bother me at all. People want to talk about it. I'm fine with talking about it. I think it helps people. So
Well, yeah, you put it on your like one of your first pins on your TikToks. I think it's on there.
yeah, I get so many questions about it that I pinned it on my social media. So my get ready with me, where I take it off and I put it on. You can see it on and off. So you can check that out if you want. It's really cool.
It's,
But mine comes on and off every day. Some people do it where they like glue it on. It
Oh.
stays on there for like 2 months.
yeah.
I have tried out a system like that,
Not
and I don't
bad.
like it.
Not for you.
That's where it feels sweaty
Okay.
and
That's what I
gross.
got.
Because I actually am pretty active. Like I run and work out and do a lot of active things.
Yeah.
And it feels gross.
Yeah.
I can
don't
see
like
that.
it.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Like if you're wearing it for a month or two, it seems like that's sweaty and gross.
And then it's really difficult to like shower and like wash it. My hairpiece, I only wash it like once every 2 or 3 weeks.
Okay.
So that's what by the way, that's what they say to do. That's not, I'm not being disgusting.
You're going Jamaican on us.
Once a month, whether you need
That's
it
the
or not.
manufacturer's recommendation.
Yeah.
So, but it's nice because I take my hair off and I take a shower.
Yeah.
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 And
it works
then-
out.
yeah.
But that's how the conversation came up because I was like, hey, there's a guy that's famous on TikTok. He has a hairpiece and
Yeah. Yeah.
it's Brad.
Chase is super
Smith.
insecure about his bald head, so he talks about it a lot.
When did you start going bald?
Well,
How old were you?
when I acknowledged it,
Yeah.
yeah, I was like
Yeah.
probably 30.
All right.
One.
That's pretty early.
Yeah, but when I was going bald, I was probably like 20.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
My grandfather's bald at like 20
Yeah.
with the whole thing. I was trying I thought it was cool looking. And I
Like,
think I
comb
saw
over
like
it.
I lost some weight and someone took a photo of me. I'm like, oh man, I look awful. I have my hair.
Dude, that's where it happens in photos. You don't see it in a
You
mirror.
don't see it in here.
That's which is the weirdest thing. Like, how does my eye not see this?
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
And then you see it in a picture, you're like, what?
What?
Who
Who
is
took
that
this
man?
photo?
It's crazy,
It
dude.
is crazy. That's when it like hit me. I'm like, oh man, that is nasty.
Yeah. Yeah.
My
You're
wife's like,
disgusting.
yeah, disgusting. And then I don't know, it's probably like 5 years ago. I guess like I told Raquel, I'm shaving that, and she's no, I hate bald heads. I'm like, well, it's happening because I don't
Yeah.
want to do the whole transplant thing. So
Yeah.
it slowly got shorter and shorter. One day I shaved it, and she said, Chase. It's like, okay, it doesn't look that bad, but she's like, yeah, you're my wife, so
Yeah.
you have to say that.
Someday I might go bald
Yeah.
and just shave it all off. I don't know. My wife's trying to convince me to do that, and I think she gets bothered by the comments online. Like when she reads my comment section, she like is bothered by the people who are like, "Nice hairpiece, bro," or like some people that play there, and I respond and go, "Thanks, dude.
Yeah. Yeah. Lean into it.
I don't care."
Yeah, right. It's out there.
Like Like, it would take me 3 seconds to look through your profile picture and find something wrong with your face. Like, I don't care that you find something wrong with, like, you know.
And that's just social
I'm not
media
trying to
these days.
impress anybody with that, but I love the way it looks.
Yeah.
That's it. I love having and I have a fuller head of hair with my hairpiece on than I ever had growing up. Like, my hair is thick, luxurious, beautiful.
Yeah.
Like, I love it.
That's
Well,
what I thought when I first saw it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
one day I saw the same thing. I'm like, yeah, such thick hair. What does he do?
Yeah.
And then I think I saw your TikTok and I was like, oh, that makes more sense.
Yeah. I went through the process of, like, I went to like 3 different hair transplant surgeons, and I just was like, I don't like anything about it. I don't like the cost. I don't like the procedure. I don't like how long it takes. I don't like the recovery.
Yeah.
I don't like the results that I saw.
Right.
Would never be like you get like 3,000 follicles transplanted in your head, and then I'm going to lose 3,000 more follicles in the
Right.
next 6 or 7 years.
Yeah, so you have to keep doing it.
So even though the ones that transplanted are going to stay, I'm still going to keep losing my hair.
Right.
Yeah.
So I got to do it again at
Yeah.
some point. And then it just doesn't make any. And then even when I do it, it still looks thin
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
wispy and like not what I want. Like,
Right.
put a hairpiece on, all of a sudden it's like, dude,
You're
whatever,
thick,
whatever you
sexy
want, man.
man.
You want a man bun? I can make you a man
Yeah.
bun.
And
Like-
when you look at I don't think you'd be as TikTok famous without that beautiful hair.
Maybe not, dude. I feel like it. I feel like it. Yeah, people are pretty surprised when they find out I'm 43 years old, and people think I'm 33 years old, and so
You take
Yeah.
a run with it.
yeah.
I'm the opposite. I'm 43 and they
I was
think
gonna
I'm
say you
53.
guys are the same age.
Well, I think I think if I went bald, it'd be the opposite. They'd think I'm way older. They think I'd look 50
Right.
immediately.
Yeah.
So
It's all right too, though.
there's a little bit of vanity in there, but it's more just like, I look in the mirror. I don't identify as a bald man, so
You're
So
comfortable
you're not
with
gonna
it.
be bald.
I do not identify as this. My pronouns are fully coiffed. That's my pronoun.
It's a
So
good pronoun.
I'm going
for
to
you.
force everyone to accept that.
Yeah. And you shall call me as such.
Yeah,
Whether I introduce myself that way or not, you better know.
that's right. That's
It's
right.
so good. It's so healthy.
Yeah.
And so when did you start your stand-up tour? How long ago was it? It's just recent, right?
So it wasn't really a tour. It was just more like, let's see if we can get people to like buy tickets. Let's see
Okay.
what kind of audience can I command with my platform? How many people would actually want to go see me? That's the question, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, okay,
It's one thing to watch for free on TikTok.
yeah.
It's another thing
Now it's
to-
like, okay, we get people to pay $30 to go see me
yeah.
and see what I have to say.
Got me.
Yeah, appreciate that.
You got one. No, you sold out the show though, right?
Spokane was sold out, and
Yeah.
it was. I mean, what's crazy is like Spokane was like a matinee, like a Saturday. Like
Yeah,
these clubs
it
do
was
not.
actually really hard for me to like make it happen. I was like, what the heck?
The-
It's the most inconvenient time
Right,
ever.
it's a super inconvenient time, and for the clubs are like, I can't believe you're like, I'm not getting good slots at comedy clubs,
Right,
Like, because
right.
they don't know me.
Uh-huh.
Like, I'm not like for as big as my platform is, like they don't know.
There's not the
it's-
respect there.
The communication has to be, can this guy, when you're booking these things, can this guy sell tickets? And they don't know.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And the truth is, I don't know.
Right.
Right? Like, I don't know if I can sell tickets. So I'm just
Right.
like, no, can we find out?
Yeah.
And they're like, well, how about a Tuesday night or
Saturday
I get
at
these
4.
crap
Saturday
I
at
get these
4.
crap slots. And so Saturday at 4, but then it's like we sell it out.
Yeah.
And then
Crushed it.
the clubs are like, also what's cool at the clubs is that they're like, oh, they sell top shelf alcohol because all my people are dental
Dentists,
professionals,
right.
dentists and hygienists that have money that can
Yeah.
spend like money on food and alcohol.
And they're like,
So they get better reimbursements.
So the
on
clubs-
that. Or not
clubs-
reimbursements, but
Clubs love me, dude.
Yeah.
The clubs love me.
Yeah.
They're like, get the dentist to come in. Get the dentist to come in some more.
the dentist will bring off his dentist friends.
Yeah. So we've been doing like we did little pocket shows where we'd be like, let's go to Eugene, let's keep it close. Eugene, Salem, Tri-Cities, Spokane, Portland, locally. And we just were super successful. So I have a booking agent now. And I'm just like, well, I just want to go big. Like,
Yeah.
what could I have sold at Spokane? Could I have sold 400 tickets? I think Spokane caps out at 315. So it was like, well, I think I could have sold 400
Yeah.
tickets. And so now we have theater. We have a theater tour that's starting now. So this is the big oral fixation tour that we're starting.
I like the name.
Thank you. And it's me and Burt Walpack. You should follow Burt Walpack. He's an amazing comedian and an actual dentist. His real name is Seth Holland.
oh, okay.
And
That's funny.
It is funny. I didn't know that his real name was Seth Holland for like a year. I always called him Burt for like a year.
And
I
he just
like-
responded.
I would text him
Hey,
and I
Bert.
put him in my phone as Burt Walpack. And then my phone said, maybe Seth Holland. And I was like, hey, why does my phone say maybe you're Seth Holland? He's like, oh, that's my name. I'm like, who's Burt Wellpack? He's like, that's my stage name. And I'm like, weird, dude.
That's not even
So I
close.
still call him Burt. I
Yeah.
still to this day, like I got,
You're in.
it was imprinted upon me to call him Burt. I can't
Yeah,
call him anything else.
This is Bert.
But he's a dentist named Seth Holland in Eugene. He's great. He's a fantastic guy. He's super funny, and so he travels with me, and we do these shows together almost all the time. Not every date works out, but so it's just a very dental focused but comedy show. But it's also good for anyone who's not a dentist.
I was gonna say, I think anyone that's not a dentist would have laughed at your show.
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah. It's very much like you don't need to be a dentist to appreciate the comedy, and it's super fun. So we have a tour that you can go to drbradysmith.com and see all the dates. But I think like the big tour starts April 17th in Sacramento.
Okay.
And so we have
California.
theaters that we're doing. Like so,
Okay.
So how many
What-
seats are we talking at?
I mean,
theater?
Sacramento's at the Crest Theater. It's 990 seats.
Ooh, nice.
And then we're in Phoenix the next night at the Herberger Theater, and that's 800 seats. And then we're just all over the place. We got a show in Long Beach at the Art Theater in May, and that's, I think, 400 seats, but we're doing 2 shows there. And then it's just all over. It's just big theaters.
Is it mainly West Coast, or are you going East Coast as well?
We were going to go East Coast, but we're going to see how the West does.
Okay.
So we want to
Test
see.
it out.
Test the
We
water
want to see if
first.
I can sell 900 tickets in
Yeah.
Sacramento first.
I'm excited to hear it.
And I think we have a good system. We get people. I mean, people come out and they love their show, and it's tons of fun. You know what? Here's why theaters work. Theaters work because I can rent them. Like I don't need it. The comedy clubs are gatekeepers.
Yeah.
And so if I want a Friday or Saturday, usually they won't let you come in for a Friday Saturday unless you do 2 shows on Friday, 2 shows on Saturday.
Right.
So if you're doing
You do a 7 and a 9, or
yeah, and the clubs are like, they cap out at 250. So they want to know you can sell 1,000 tickets over a weekend, and I can't convince them that. I think I can, but that's all I can give them is I'm pretty sure I can, and they probably hear that from a lot of people.
Right.
yeah.
So my solution was
Theaters.
theaters, and my booking agent said, well, there's a rental fee of like $7,000. I'm like, all right, let's just do it.
You
But
pay
then,
it,
but
and
then,
then
it's,
hope
but then
it-
it's done.
And then you get 100% of the door deal.
Yeah.
The 100% of the tickets go to me.
Yeah.
But you got to risk it. So we've had some sponsors that have been interested in helping out. Some sponsors have taken certain venues and paid for that for us. So
Nice.
we got some sponsors. Smile Trend is one of them.
Oh, yeah.
James
Yeah,
Heaton.
that's right.
You know James.
James and Mike.
They're sponsoring our Phoenix gig.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So
That's
yeah.
cool. And that's good. Like so in each vendor or each venue might be a different sponsor. It's not like a corporate sponsor.
Yeah, we had one group that was going to sponsor the whole thing, and that got dialed back. We went through like 2 months of negotiation, and finally I just got sick of them just dragging their feet. And I was like, I'm just going to pay for the whole thing myself.
Okay.
I was like, I
You're
don't
ready
need
to go.
They wanted a lot of stuff from me, and I was like uncomfortable with it from the get-go.
Yeah.
And then I've worked with these companies for so long trying to get them to pony up money for like Halo
Right.
and like
So you know how
nonprofit
it
stuff.
works.
I'm just like, you got one guy saying he can promise you the world, we're going to pay for the whole thing, and you got a legal people and accountant people, and then you have a committee, then you got the CEO. Like all of a sudden, like you're a month into like negotiating things, and the CEO's like, well, I don't even think we should do this.
Right.
And you're like,
It's
okay.
just all that
Awesome.
time wasted.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
the show is
thanks
still
for
in
that.
April.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is still happening, guys.
Yeah. So we'll still look for sponsorship and still allow for that. What's cool is that I think there's more dentists that will come to our shows than will come to a dental conference.
Oh yeah.
Oh, 100%. You won't catch me at a dental conference.
Right. Yeah.
Actually
And I
never
went to
been.
the show.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Not even knowing who you were.
Exactly. Yeah.
No,
It's a
never
comedy
for me.
show.
Well, I mean, I watched a couple of TikTok videos.
So you get these sponsors that come into like a dental conference to pay $10,000 for a booth, and they're going to be there for 2 days, maybe
Right.
talk to like 3 people who have no interest in buying their products. And the thing is, like, we can distill that down to 2 hours and put a deal out there that I think gets you as much FaceTime with dentists as any dental conference does.
Yeah.
And in a better setting that's more fun.
Right, it's a more relaxing setting.
More
not-
relaxed
not
environment.
So much.
Yeah.
You're not prey.
Yeah.
At that setting.
Well, there you go. So if you want to sponsor Dr. Brady, he has a couple
There you go.
venues
can
ready to go.
Hit me up.
How do
Hit
they
me
hit
up.
you up again?
Through the DMs on Instagram is probably the best way.
All right.
Yeah. Dr.
And-
Brady Smith.
There you go. And if you want to buy some tickets to still see him, drbradysmith.com.
Dr. Brady Smith, drbradysmith.com. All my dates are there. And then I have an email list too. And if you don't see your city on there, if you sign up on the email list, we know your IP address and we keep track of all the data on that. So we can tell like, oh, there's tons of people in Chicago who are signing up on your email list that want, or whatever city it might be. So
Yeah.
you can sign up on the email list and you get notified. If you're on the email list, you get like pre-sale deals and stuff.
So,
So yeah.
Well, you guys should all go check out Dr. Brady. He's an amazing dude. He's taller than you think, so
Yeah.
he's impressive.
He's very handsome, man.
Small
I think he
hands,
can pull off the no hair. if he
Super
wanted to.
intimidating to people.
Maybe small
Yeah.
hands, but no judgment.
I don't know, dude. I
Just
do all
kidding.
right. Come on, man.
no, but he's very handsome with a full head of hair. Dude's hilarious. Check him on the TikTok and Instagram, and go check him out.
Thank you.
Any last words you want to say, Brady?
Thanks for coming, guys. This has been fun. I'm super excited to talk to anybody
About dentistry.
about myself
Yeah.
and about dentistry. It's very fun.
Primarily about you, though.
As long as we can talk about myself, keep it really centered on
That's
me.
actually my favorite subject is myself.
Oh, not me. I thought you were going to say your favorite subject is me.
I thought,
Yeah.
you were going to say him too.
Like, we were going to do a whole podcast about me next.
Wouldn't that be
but-
awesome? We just come here and talk about you.
Yeah, next time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe someday someone will.
That'd be great.
Sometime. Until then.
Yeah.
We'll
well,
talk
hey,
about
thanks again, Brady. It's been a pleasure, and
Thank you.
we appreciate anyone who's listening. And if you don't like what you're hearing, stop listening. And if you do, keep listening.
That's
right. It's easy. It's an easy formula.
That's right. That's just turn it off. Don't leave any more 1-star reviews.
Yeah, no one started reviews. I don't want to get a HIPAA violation.
That's right. That's right.
That's great.
Thanks for listening to The Dentist Show. We hope that this episode helped you make smiles about more than teeth. To get more resources to grow as a dentist and to learn more about Chase and Ryan, go to thedentistshow.com or just follow the link in the show notes. If you enjoyed this episode, share with another dentist in your life and help us grow the movement. And be sure to rate and review wherever you're listening.